What's up my friends, Mike again, glad to have you guys back. So if you're like me and wanted to update your existing desk for a nice desk setup, you probably stumbled on a YouTube video about a dude who stained his desk, and it looked simple and easy for me to do for myself, right? No, it wasn't easy to do at all. After 2 days of hard work, my stained desk looked like poop. It had blotchy areas everywhere, and I think I ruined my desk. So what I expected from after watching those YouTube videos and what actually happened in reality did not match up at all. So in this video, I'll share with you guys the real story and the real process of DIY desk staining. I mean, how I ruined my desk and how I fixed it. So that you guys know what to expect when doing this and get a nice desk like this at the end for your desk setup. And by the way, this video is sponsored by Autonomous, which I'll talk about later. They're also doing a giveaway as well, so make sure you watch till the end. So hopefully you guys will learn from my mistakes in this DIY project, and here is how the story goes. So guys, I've been using this table for the past 3 years. It's my YouTube table, it's awesome, but it's kind of boring at the same time. So this is the desk that we're going to be working on today. So getting right into it, there's a few things I prepared before starting. I took the table out because I didn't want to do it indoors, as we're going to be sanding. There's going to be a lot of sawdust and sand around. And that's why it's very important to wear a mask and safety goggles so that the dust doesn't get in your lungs or your eyes. So for sanding down the desk, I'm using an orbital sander starting with 80 grit sandpaper. This table is a workbench. It has a very thick layer of finish on it. We have to remove all of it before staining. So that's why using a tool like this is a lot easier on my muscles and hands and saves a lot of time. But who am I kidding? I'm just kind of lazy. Also, an important note when using an orbital sander is to not press onto it while you're sanding. Just let it glide on the table so that it can create a uniform surface. And when I first started doing this, I gotta admit that this process is very therapeutic and satisfying. It's just really cool to see the desk transform slowly, especially when I'm doing the final run of the sanding along the grain across the whole table. And next, I moved up to the 120 grit sandpaper, sanding down everything yet again. And man, when I brush my hand across it, I can really feel the difference between the 120 grit and the 80 grit sandpaper. Moving along, I used 220 grit sandpaper to hand sand the entire surface so that I can feel out any bumps while sanding. Using thin and flexible gloves are really useful in this case. And next, I made sure to wipe off all the dust and vacuum all of it before we pre-stain the desk. Before staining, I'm using a wood conditioner on the desk because it's supposed to make the wood absorb the stain more evenly so that it's not blotchy. Brushing it on immediately changes the color of the desk. This is really satisfying for me to see. And after a few minutes, I wiped off the excess, and now it's finally time to stain the desk. So here, I did choose a dark walnut colored stain because I just simply love the look of walnut. It gives off a very bold and sophisticated look, and it just matches the rest of my dark themed desk accessories. Almost every part of this project has been satisfying so far, but staining is on another level, man. You get to finally see it all come together, and boy, this first layer was beautiful. So all the time and effort that you put in the steps before just makes it all worth it. So I brushed the stain in the direction of the grain and wiped off the excess on the bottom. So everything was looking perfect so far, and I let it wait for a few minutes before removing the excess off the top. So I was really excited. This part is like the grand reveal for me. It was finally time to see what the stain truly did, but the more I wiped, the more sad I became. So here it seems like the sander did not get in the middle part, so that's not too good. So the more I looked, the more imperfections I found. This was all due to not sanding deep enough to get rid of the existing dents and scratches. The dark walnut stain really brings out any flaws like these circles that were from my monitor arm mount. I'm gonna have to resand this and then restain it. So make sure you do it right the first time. So it kind of sucks that I have to start everything over again, but it shouldn't be too bad, and I wasn't willing to give up because the desk still looked a lot better than what it used to. Just take a look at all this enthusiasm I had before. Little did I know, things were gonna get rough. After letting the stain dry for a night, I started sanding it down again the next morning. This time, I made sure to get all the dents out and make it super smooth, hoping that the sanding will open up the pores for more of the stain to soak in. This time around, I'm sure I did everything right, so I was back where I started 24 hours ago. Wiping off the excess wasn't too bad for me this time. The color definitely looked more uniform and even. So at this point, the future was looking good, guys. I was happy with this look. All I needed to do was to add a second coat of stain 2 hours later, so I left it out to dry in the direct sunlight. 2 hours later. So guys, I think I really messed up. I tried to dry it faster by putting in direct sunlight, and the stain in the pores kept coming up and made these little circles, and then it dried because I left it in the sun for too long. So getting something done quicker resulted in ruining the whole thing. But it's okay, that's why we tested it on the back side first. We're not gonna make the same mistake on the front side, the beauty side, okay? So with all the knowledge that I've accumulated from doing this project so far, I'm pretty dang sure I'm going to do everything right this time. And I promise guys, it's going to look great, with more lessons here and there in between, so make sure you watch till the end and remember to like and subscribe. So with the top side of the desk, I made sure to sand everything down super evenly and made sure that the surface did not have any flaws at all. Then I proceeded to the staining procedures again. Staining makes everything look and feel great, as it's the most satisfying part. After letting it dry for a bit, here comes the moment of truth, the wipe. What the heck? Why is there a yellow spot? This can't be happening. No! So at this point, I was pretty upset, pretty mad. I quickly wiped off the rest of the desk and found that there were other spots as well. In this moment, I was really questioning my life decisions and if I ruined a perfectly good desk. So I already sanded the desktop a lot, so it must be the stain, right? At this point, I didn't really care. I was desperate, so I put on another coat of stain and let it dry for another day. 24 hours later. So this is what I came down to see. This is horrible. This looks worse than before. The entire table just looked very blotchy. The areas where it did not absorb was very apparent, and just looking at it pisses me off. So like any normal person, I searched up the desk to see what it was made of. It turns out the desk has an abnormally thick protective coating, as it's meant to be used in a tool shop. This is great news. It just means that it's a sanding issue. Oh god, not again. The good thing about having a solid wood table is that it is thick and we can fix the entire situation by just sanding it all off. And when I did it, there was a lot of this gummy stuff that got stuck under the sandpaper, so I went through a lot of them to sand off the rest of the desk. Doing this project was a good life lesson because life is not perfect, people make mistakes. And in most situations, mistakes can be fixed. And I'm very glad that this solid wood top was very forgiving so that I can keep working on it to get the look that I want in the end. And before I show you guys how I finally did it correctly, huge shout out to Autonomous for sponsoring this video. I've been using their Smart Desk 2 electric standing desk for a whole year and I've been loving it. You've probably seen it a couple of times in my YouTube videos. So Autonomous is releasing new desk designs in their new Smart Desk Flare collection, and they have a ton of designs that are made by artists, and more are being added to the list in the future. So this is actually my first time seeing a whole piece of art on a standing desk. This is pretty cool. So the designs that really catches my eye is this happy desk over here. It looks very colorful, very vibrant, and very fun. The other one that caught my eye is this Mind Garden one. The design is very abstract, very intricate, and with everything going on, it's just really mesmerizing. So you can order these tables with the electric standing desk frames. There's the core frame, there's a pro frame, or you can order the top only if you already have a standing desk at home. They also have free shipping and free returns within 30 days, no questions asked. So guys, I think your desk is like the biggest accessory that you have in your room. So if you want to add a splash of color, some personality, or just make your space more fun, creative, or inspirational, you should definitely check out these desks using my link in the description below. Autonomous is now accepting pre-orders for the first time at a special launch price. So get your orders in by June 20th to make sure your order gets priority, as production starts when you place your order. So guys, with the desks that are designed by artists from Autonomous, I can guarantee you that you don't have to sand or stain it for hours and days to get a customized or unique look for your space. So that's why I personally put in an order for the happy desk design that we're gonna use for my wife's arts and crafts room. I'll share it with you guys as soon as I can, so make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell to get the latest updates about my channel from YouTube. As always, I like to hook my friends up when I do sponsored videos, so Autonomous is generously giving away one brand new Ergo stool to one of you lucky guy or girls watching this video right now. All you gotta do to enter is to visit Autonomous's website using my link in the description below and comment which desk design you would like to order, and that's it guys. I'll announce the winner by June 20th. So thanks again to Autonomous for sponsoring this video, and back to where we left off to finish up the desk. So with this last attempt, I promise that we're gonna get it right. After failing so many times, I'm not leaving anything to chance anymore, so I've moved the whole setup into the garage. Now I can finally stop worrying about it raining or a bird pooping on my desk while I'm working on it. I also went to the store to pick up another type of dark walnut stain. I think this is going to work a lot better because it only takes 1 hour to dry so that I don't have to wait 24 hours to apply the final coating. To apply the stain, I'm using an old t-shirt instead of a brush this time. And I gotta admit that applying it like this isn't as satisfying as using a paintbrush, but the overall result is a lot better than using a brush because I can wipe off the excess stain right away and control how much stain the wood absorbs. So the end result of the stain is very even. I didn't even have to apply the conditioner first this time. Also, I think that sanding properly this time was crucial to the entire process. The stain is really absorbing nicely into the wood without any weird patterns or blotches at all. So guys, I'm very happy about the results this time. I'm glad I didn't give up or else I would not have reached this stage. Moving along, I did wait 2 hours to apply a second coat because I wanted the finish to be a tiny bit darker. Wiping off the stain this time was a bit harder because it was kind of sticky, so I got a bit worried, but good news guys, it looks great. I love how it looks. So after waiting 1 more hour for it to dry, it was finally time to put on some triple thick clear coat finish. This stuff is supposed to seal the wood so that the color would stay the same, and it can also protect the surface from scratches, stains, and all that bad stuff. Ultimately, it's a way to protect the desk that I spent so many hours working on. And when it dries, it's supposed to leave a matte finish so there's no sanding or extra steps involved afterwards. And here's a quick note about applying this stuff. It's very important to get a thick, consistent layer on the desk and finish off with long strokes with the grain, because when it dries, you can still kind of see the brush strokes, and painting it with the grain helps hide those marks. To complete the process, I wipe the excess from under the table, and I've been putting my paintbrushes in a Ziploc bag after every staining or coating session. This is awesome because it prevents the brush from drying out and I can just use the brush right away for my next use. It also makes the cleanup process a lot quicker, so that's another useful tip for you. Remember to like and subscribe. 48 hours and 1 more coat later. So my friends, after many days of hard work, I'm very happy to tell you that this is the final result. The polyurethane coating definitely improved the look of the desk, giving it a smooth and matte surface. I just absolutely love the look of the entire thing now. The dark walnut color makes it look very sophisticated, modern, and bold. And under this lighting, the desk seems to just kind of glow, and it really gives off a very natural and pleasant vibe. There's one more thing that I noticed, and it's that I unknowingly added a beveled edge to the front of the desk when I was sanding. This is definitely a pleasant surprise as I think it looks great. Now, the only thing that's left to do is to move it back into my room and install it back on the frame without damaging the desk. In the beginning, when you start something new, there will be many failures and hurdles before you succeed in the end, and I'm very glad that I persevered and followed through to this end. And I'm actually glad that I made all those mistakes in this video. If I didn't document and show you all these failures, how can I show you that not everything online is perfect? Like, I messed up 3 or 4 times before getting this final result. And I'm sure the other dudes who were staining their desk on YouTube had some problems and hurdles as well that they didn't show, so that everything looked really easy. Things in life don't usually go perfectly, and that's why I wanted to show you the behind the scenes in the whole process, because this stuff isn't easy. Doing this myself really helps me appreciate craftsmanship more. So comment below and let me know what you want to see next, and also let me know how I could have improved, because honestly this was my first time doing anything like this, and you probably know that I didn't know what I was doing at the very beginning anyways. But I learned the best by doing, and I'm pretty excited about making other furniture stuff for my office, so I would love to hear from you professionals out there as well how I could have done better. And guys, if you're still watching right now, thank you so much for watching till the end. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the very next video. Bye!
Yeah.
What's up guys, I'm Mike again, glad to have you guys back. Today we're going to talk about nothing because this is just a fake audio recording of me talking to myself.